it's Leah, and today's story is going to be my labor and delivery story. So, my due date was my due date was confusing. Like, when I first went to my OB, he told me my due date was August 8th. And then, like, a couple months in, he tells me it's August 6th. So, my due date is August 6th, and that was a Monday. And I like to start off by saying my pregnancy was fine. No nausea. Okay, in the beginning, I was very, very tired. And so I didn't have any nausea, no throwing up. My feet did not swell. My pregnancy was A-okay. Anyways, so my pregnancy was fine. It was perfect. And so it was only like getting towards the end, I was really like, get her out of me, because I was getting uncomfortable. I love sleeping on my stomach. Could not sleep on my stomach while I was pregnant. I was getting these pains in my back and my feet, like my legs, and I went to the hospital and they told me that was just the baby was laying on some nerves, so that's why I was getting those pains. I also heard that you cannot sleep on your back because it like decreases the blood flow because the baby lays on it or whatever. And so I was like, no, I'm uncomfortable. You need to get out. Your eviction date is now. Like, I think once I hit the 37-week mark, I started drinking red raspberry leaf tea. Actually, I looked for red raspberry leaf tea. I couldn't find it, so I just got some raspberry tea, and I drank that. I took evening primrose oil orally and vaginally. I did not take castor oil because I was like, I'm not gonna risk her, what's the word? What is the word of the, not pneumonia. Anyways, the baby's first poo, I did not want her to poo inside of me. So I was like, I'm staying clear of castor oil because that was never an option for me. I'm like, no. I lied. I thought about it once or twice, but I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to risk it. So, anyways, so I was getting antsy or whatever, and my due date came, nothing. So the whole week, so I went to my OB appointment. I don't know what day it was, but maybe it was like a Wednesday. And he told me, he's like, I want you to come back in on Saturday and we'll see what happens. So I go in on Saturday morning, first person there, and he's looking at her through the ultrasound machine, and he's like trying to move her, and he's saying she's not moving. And he's like, was she moving before? I said, yeah, she was moving. And he's like, did you eat anything? I was like, no. He's like, okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to eat breakfast and then go to the hospital. The hospital's right across the street. So I ate some breakfast and then I went to the hospital, and they basically just monitored me. My doctor, when he told me to go to the hospital, he said they're just going to monitor me. I could be getting induced. I might not get induced, but his colleagues at the hospital will report back to him, and they'll discuss what should happen, basically. And so I go to the hospital. They're monitoring me. Maybe 2 hours in, they're like, okay, everything's fine, but we're going to give you Cervidil, which is going to induce me. And they're like, we'll put it in you, monitor you for like maybe half an hour or an hour. You can go, and depending on how you feel, you can come back later tonight at 10 o'clock and we'll see what happens. And the lady told me, she's like, basically, you're probably gonna have an August 12th baby, because that was the 11th. The Saturday was the 11th. And I was like, okay. That was fine, because I was planning on going to watch The Meg, and I was like, okay, I'll go watch the movie and then I'll come back to the hospital. And so the lady who was actually gonna deliver the baby, she inserts, no, I don't think she delivered the baby, I don't know, a doctor inserts the Cervidil. And Cervidil, I'll try and find a picture and insert it. If I find it, I will insert it here. Cervidil is basically like a little, I don't know, like a cloth thing. And so I'm laying there and I'm feeling some pain in my vaginal area. And I'm like, what is happening here? And so I felt like I need to go to the washroom. So I get up, I go to the washroom. This might be a little TMI, but my vagina felt like it was going to drop off when I tell you. Like, it was, Cervidil is no game. It's no joke. And like, I was just like, this does not feel right. I was trying to sit on the toilet, could not do it. Like, I honestly wanted to cry. And so I said, forget this, and I go and lay down. Now my body is freezing cold. I got multiple heated blankets, and within 5 minutes I'm freezing and I'm shaking. And so I got up to use the washroom again. I got to sit on the toilet this time and use the washroom. I go back and lay down, and at that point, I was maybe there for like 5 hours. My mom comes, and, you know, she's trying to comfort me. I was like, I didn't know they were contractions, but now that I look back, I know that they were contractions. I was getting contractions. I'm not really sure how far apart they were. Maybe they were like 5 minutes apart. And so I was dealing with that, and like, I don't know if I'm gonna insert a video because I looked horrible. So my mom comes. I was there for maybe about 5 hours at that point. You know, this was actually, like, it didn't seem like 5 hours. Everything was going fast. I don't know if it's because of the pain or what, but everything was just going fast. And so finally, like, at this point I'm in, I guess you could say, triage. I don't know what it's called. It's the labor and delivery section of the hospital, but I was not in a actual room yet. And so, like, I had a little bed or whatever, but it was like sectioned off by curtains. I think you could call it triage. But my mom came and she asked them to get me a room. But before they got me a room, the doctor, I was begging her, I'm like, take this Cervidil out of me now, because I can't. And so she's like, it'd be best if we left it in for a little longer. I'm just like, no, I would like this removed, please. So she takes it out. And I'm just sitting there like, I cannot walk. I can't walk to my room. And so I built up the courage to walk, and we walked to the room. And my mom asked them if they have like a bathtub. So they have a bathtub, and I get in the bathtub. The warm water is kind of soothing me and helping with the pain. And so after a while, I was like, no, this is not helping me anymore. So I got up and I went and laid in the bed that I was going to deliver in. And my nurse, who's the best nurse I ever had, she was like, can we break your water? My mom left to get food, and she said she was going to be back. And they're like, we should break your water, it'll help things go along faster, whatever. I'm like, no, I want to wait for my mom. The nurse is like, no, we can do it. It will go faster. She's not going to come by the time your mom comes back. And so, I was calling my mom. She wasn't answering. So I'm like, oh my God, please. So I let them break my water because the nurse was insisting that my water be broken. And basically, I get out the bathtub and my nurse breaks my water with the little hook thing. And so she breaks my water. My mom was out of the room. Thankfully, she came back because before my nurse was wanting to break my water, my mom had left for food and I was calling her and this lady did not pick up. I said, no, there's no way that I'm going to have this baby without my mom in the room. And my nurse is like, no, it's okay. She won't come that fast or whatever. I'm like, okay. And, yeah, so the pain is still coming. I'm breathing in calmly and, I'm trying to relax myself. And my nurse tried to convince me since the moment that we met not to get an epidural. And she said to me, how about you go naturally until you absolutely cannot take it anymore, and then I'll call the what's it called? Not neurosurgeon. Why am I forgetting all these terminologies today? I don't know. But she said she'll call the person to do the epidural when I absolutely cannot take it anymore. So that is exactly what I did. I waited till the moment that I could not take it anymore. I'm like, okay. And at this point, I'm not even paying attention to how far apart the contractions are. But at this point, they're coming very closely. Because I'm getting induced, I'm not timing any type of contractions. I don't care. I'm just focusing on the pain. I do not want to feel this pain at all. I was hoping for it to be over soon. No, not sissy. What? No.
Huh?
No, I'm doing something.
Oh.
What happened?
With our eyes?
Shh. Mila is sleeping. I tell my nurse, I'm like, I cannot handle this anymore. This is it. I'm getting the epidural. So she calls the guy who does the epidural thing, Faith. I told her to get the person who does the epidural, and he comes and he, the usual, don't move, otherwise you'll get paralyzed, And so that was fine. He inserts the needle into my back. That's all he gets to do. So when you get an epidural, they insert the needle into the back and then they hook it up to the wall. Then you get a button to press, which will release the epidural into your spine. Yes. So, he inserts the needle, and now he's going over to the other side of the bed to hook it up to the wall. And I'm here like, I'm gonna throw up. And I can't hold it back. All of a sudden, everything comes up, okay? And, so some of my vomit got into the tube. So when he put it in. I felt my feet were getting tingly or whatever. My back was getting tingly, but I could still feel everything. Just a little bit tingly. Like, you know when your foot falls asleep? Like that. But just a little less. And so that happens, and I vomit in the tube, and my nurse is like, I'm gonna have to clean this out. We're gonna have to change the whole tube, whatever. Then she says, let me just check how dilated you are. She's like, oh, baby's here. And I'm just like, what? No. No. First of all, I'm not numbed. I can feel everything. Like, please. Like, I was like, no. I'm just like, no, can you guys just do this again? She's like, no wonder why it's not working. The baby's here. You're 10 centimeters. I'm just like, where's the epidural at, though? That's all that was on my mind. She's like, I can't do it right now. Even if you get it, it's not going to work. I'm just like, she's like, what are you scared about? I'm like, if they have to sew me up. She's like, they will numb you when it's time for you to be sewed up. So my mom's holding up one of my legs, and my nurse is like, when a contraction comes, let us know, and you have to start pushing. So basically when she's there, I kind of feel a little bit of pressure. Mind you, I'm not numb down there. I'm feeling everything. So I'm feeling a little bit of pressure. And then my mom's like, oh, I can see her head or whatever. I can see her hair. And so I'm pushing. And then she says, okay, stop. And so I wait for another contraction, push again. And then she's like, you're doing great. She's almost here. And then I guess, I don't know if this sensation was of the tearing or whatnot, or I don't know if it was the sensation of the tearing, but I felt like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I guess if you rip a paper and you know how, like, let me show you. So ripping a paper, but like I felt the rip going upwards. I felt it like this. Like, that's the only way I can explain it. I don't know how to explain it, but I felt like something moving upwards towards like my head in my vagina. I don't know how to explain it, but that's the best way that I can explain it. So, yeah, and then after, she's like, do like small little pulsation pushes. She didn't say it like that, but like, you know, like small little like pushes. And after that, she came out, and she's born at 9:34 p.m., 7 pounds, 8 ounces. And yeah, so that was the time that, okay, I'm saying that was the time as if this happened more than once. That's my labor and delivery video. I was in labor for like 8 or 9 hours. I think that's pretty darn good compared to people who say they've been in labor for all 48 hours. But, yeah. I suggest, if you're going to go into labor, to do it naturally. Me, I was so stubborn. I'm like, no, epidural, like that. There's no other option. But honestly, it's not bad. I never felt her head like coming out. Like, when it was coming out, I didn't feel any pain at all. And so everything was fine. And honestly, if that's a very, I will do a natural birth. And yeah, so that is the story about how I gave birth and how I went into labor. And yeah, so if you haven't already, make sure you go and watch my pregnancy story. I will put the link down below. If you already watched it, I re-uploaded it because I had to edit some things out and add some things in. And yeah, and don't forget to add my social media. That will also be in the description box down below and at the end of the video. And comment down below and let me know what kind of content you want to see. I'm not strictly sticking to only pregnancy videos. I'm basically gonna do every and anything. So whatever you want to see, just comment down below and I'll do it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. See you in the next one.